Hey everybody, I'm Kathleen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a really easy recipe for a no-bake chocolate peanut butter bar. So let's get to it. We're going to start with 1 cup of unsalted butter. It's 2 sticks and we're going to melt it in the microwave. I'm going to cut it into pieces just to make it easier so that way when it melts we also won't have that little explosion that you get sometimes when you melt butter in the microwave. I know it's happened to me a few times. But if you cut it up, you won't have that problem. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just going to get melted. Which is really nice about this recipe because you don't have to think about it ahead of time other than, making sure that you have the ingredients. You don't have to let your butter come to room temperature or anything like that. So it's super easy and super fast to throw these together, especially if you think last minute, oh, I have somebody that I need to gift something to, and you're thinking, what am I gonna give them? Make a batch of these chocolate peanut butter bars. And they are super easy. So now we're gonna melt our butter in the microwave, and I'm going to start on 30 seconds and then just check it from there. It won't take much time at all for this to melt. Okay, so now that our butter is melted, I let it cool slightly. It took 3 times in the microwave on 30-second intervals, so it didn't take long at all. You just want to let it cool down slightly, and while you do that, you can crush up your graham crackers. I did that in a food processor, but you can easily do it in a Ziploc bag and then just use a rolling pin or something over top of it. But now we're going to add in the powdered sugar, 1.5 cups to our 1 cup of unsalted butter. And then we are going to add in 1 cup of peanut butter. Now you can use your preference here. You can use chunky peanut butter or you can use just regular creamy peanut butter, which that's what I'm doing today. And then after you put your peanut butter in, save this spoon because when we melt our chocolate later, we are going to melt it with some peanut butter in it, so this spatula can be reused. Now, this does not need to be done in a stand mixer. You can certainly drag that out if you want to, but you can even whisk this by hand. That might be a little hard, but you can easily just use a hand mixer. And honestly, for all my recipes, you can use a hand mixer. I used a hand mixer for a very long time before I ever got our KitchenAid, which that was a wedding present. So we're just gonna cream this together until there's no more lumps from the powdered sugar. So now that we have creamed together the peanut butter, sugar, and the butter, we just want to do it for a minute or 2 until it's combined and there's no lumps left from the powdered sugar. Now, I used 2 sleeves of honey graham crackers and I pulsed them in my food processor. But like I said before, you can easily do it in a Ziploc bag with a rolling pin or just something hard to crush them. And you don't necessarily want to make the crumbs too fine. It's okay to have a few little chunks in there, so don't get crazy when you're doing this. And now I put the hand mixer away because we're just going to fold this in. We do not want to crush the crumbs any further than they already have been crushed, because we're not trying to make a powder or a dust out of them. We still want that texture in this peanut butter bar. So I am just going to fold this until everything, all of the crumbs are well coated with that peanut butter, sugar, butter mixture. Okay, and then we're going to pour this into a 8x8 square pan. So let's go ahead and do that. I've already lined my pan with parchment paper and just use these little paper clips to hold it on. It just helps the parchment to not slide around while we press these down. So we're just going to pour that into there. And then while we melt our chocolate chips with the peanut butter, we are going to put this into the refrigerator just so it can start to get a chill on it. And you can certainly press this down with your hands or just spread it out evenly with the spatula. This does not have to be perfect. We're going to cover it with chocolate So don't beat yourself up trying to get it perfectly even. Of course, you want to spread it as even as you possibly can. So we're gonna pop this into the refrigerator just to get a chill on it. So for the topping, I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can certainly use your favorite. You can use dark chocolate, you can use milk chocolate. We just need 1.5 cups. And I think I'm gonna use up all the rest of the chocolate chips. All right, and then we're going to add to the chocolate chips 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Which is why I said to save your spatula from before, because there's no use in dirtying another spatula for this. And we're going to melt this in the microwave on 30-second increments. And we're going to stir it in between. Okay, so I moved the camera because I want you guys to see this. So obviously these chocolate chips are not melted yet, but they're getting there. This is the second time I've had it in the microwave at 30 seconds. So this is the third time we've had this in the microwave, and you can see how there's still a few chocolate chips, but as we stir, it is getting smooth. Now, had I not stirred this and I just thought they weren't done and I put them back in, there would have been a huge chance that I could have burnt the chocolate. And now this next step is up to you, but I absolutely love cinnamon with chocolate and peanuts. So I am going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just gonna stir that right in there. Okay, so I'm just chopping up here 1/2 cup of lightly salted, dry roasted peanuts to sprinkle over the top of my bars. You do not have to do this. You can add some sprinkles if you would like, especially, you know, since it's the holidays and if you're going to give these out for Christmas presents. I just like how the peanuts look on top, and it just adds a little extra bit of salt. All right, so those are looking good. I don't want to dice them too finely. So now we're going to pull our peanut butter bars out of the refrigerator, and we're going to put our topping on and then sprinkle on top the peanuts. Okay. Get all of this chocolate on there. That chocolate and peanut butter and cinnamon is just going to be absolutely delicious on top of these. Now, after we finish these off, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour before I pull them out and cut them into bars. And you can cut them as big or as small as you want. When I did my test batch last week, I cut them a little bit larger than I think they really needed to be, because these are very decadent. You really only need a bite of these to fill that sweet tooth craving. So I'm probably gonna cut them smaller this time. So let's sprinkle these on. And you can sprinkle on as many or as few as you would like. Okay, so let's just finish these up. And then we will get these back into the refrigerator for 1 hour, and then I'll meet you back here to cut them up. Okay guys, so it's been 1 hour. Now we're just going to use this parchment, pull that out, which is one of the reasons why we used that parchment paper. It's super easy to pull them out of a pan. You probably wouldn't have been able to get them out of the pan otherwise, so definitely use that parchment paper. And now we're going to cut these into squares. I cut them into 12 bars the last time when I did my test batch, and that was just way too big. So we're gonna try to cut these a little bit smaller. You know me, sometimes I can't cut a straight line for whatever reason, so we're gonna do our best here. I'm gonna start in the middle. Get these as even as possible. I feel like if we just start in the middle again, this way they're a little bit more uniform. I don't know what it is when I'm cutting these or fudge. I don't know why. Sometimes I just cannot seem to cut a straight line. But they taste delicious either way. I'll show you Guys, these are amazing. So good. Little test piece for me. And you guys can keep these in the refrigerator for up to a week in a sealed container, or you can freeze them. I think I might freeze most of these because I plan to give these on Christmas Eve, and I don't expect everybody to eat theirs on Christmas Eve or even necessarily by the next day. So I think I will probably freeze mine just to give them a little bit longer of a shelf life once they've received them. And if you guys love chocolate and you love peanut butter, I highly recommend these. They are absolutely delicious, so easy to make, and they look beautiful. They look like you spent so much more time than you actually did, and they're definitely beautiful enough to gift. Or you can just keep them for yourself. I won't tell. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you're gonna make these, and if you like chocolate and peanut butter. I wanna know. I know I do. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. You don't wanna miss a video. So I just wanna wish you guys truly a very Merry Christmas. Whatever you do with your friends and your family, I hope that you remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. He's the reason for every season. Let's just be real about it. And I just want to leave you guys with chapter 9 of Isaiah, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. I hope that you remember that Jesus is the best gift that we will ever receive. And if you haven't already received Jesus in your heart, it's not too late. I hope that you will call out to him today. Tell him that you want to leave the world behind and you want to follow after him. Nothing would truly make me happier than you receiving salvation for Christmas. And I'm pretty confident in saying that it would make Jesus very happy as well. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to catch me in between these videos, you can find me on Instagram at thatchristianwife. Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.